All right. Good Tuesday evening, everyone. The Hammer here with you alongside my partner in crime, Joshyboy. Josh, we have made it. It is
We
tournament
made it,
time, my
man.
friend.
Yes.
What seemed like a forever time ago back in October, early November when the season kicked off with some preseason tournaments and things like that. We have
Yep.
we've run the gambit, gone through tournament championships, selection Sunday, and our first game of the pre-tournament doesn't kick off full effect till Thursday, but we've got our first couple games going. Tonight, it looks like Liberty has taken down George Mason in the NIT. And then for the play-in game, we have Howard with a double-digit lead up by 12 over Virginia number one seed killer UMBC. Some other games that have kicked off in the NIT: Yale and UNC Wilmington, Wichita State, Wyoming. But that's not what we're going to talk about tonight. NIT's nice and all. CBI, whatever it is. The college basketball crown, enjoy. We're talking about the big boy. We're talking about the field of 64. I did have Liberty plus 5.5 tonight, so already cashed my first official play of tournament time. So we just need 67 more of them, Josh, and we'll be good.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't have that many in. More, I have more in than I probably should, but not
Same.
quite that many. So we have 67 games. We have 22 days, and we've got one hell of a show to cover it all. So, first of all, my friend, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks. How are you doing?
Good, good.
Good.
I had a repeat of Monday today. Monday was eventful, and then today started out the same. But we do what we always do: we improvise, we adapt, we overcome, and we got through it. So
That's good.
I won't complain because nobody cares. Um, so what I think we're going to do, if it's good with everybody watching, and I've already cleared it with Josh, so I know it's good with him. We're just going to kind of go through the bracket game by game and just kind of talk about the matchup, what the spread, what the total is, and kind of how we lean, what we think. Games that we actually have official plays on, we'll speak to a little bit more in depth. But this is just more or less to kind of be more of a betting guide than a, hey, let's help you fill out your bracket, because who we think might be a good bet may not necessarily be who's going to advance in the tournament, right? Because point spreads are a thing. Over-unders on win totals, that's a thing. So that's kind of what we're going to focus on. Now, we will throw out some winners, some Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, National Championship type stuff. We'll probably give you a Final Four. I'm going to hold Josh, keep his feet to the fire, and make him pick a winner. But hopefully we can just shed some light and share some value bets for what's to come. Starting Thursday. Now, we will talk about the play-in games. I'm not a huge fan of betting them, although my first play wasn't on a play-in game, but that's not important. So what is important is this bracket. So I'm trying to scroll down this. I've got about 3 screens going here, y'all. So just kind of be a little bit patient with me as I try to figure out how to manage this. So, Josh, real quick, we will talk about Texas NC State, because I think that is a play-in game that has a lot of people's attention right out of the gate, because both of those teams from power conferences, and both of those teams I could make an argument for. Do you have a lean either way in Texas versus NC State?
If I had to lean, I would play Texas because NC State went from a +1 underdog to a -1 favorite. I've been pretty much high on the Texas team ever since they came in to here and they turned it around a few weeks after they played us. I think this NC State team is a fraud. I
Ooh,
haven't said that to you though, but I've said it to other people all year. This NC State team is a fraud. So I'd slightly lean toward Texas.
I got you. Okay. Um, well, this is the coin flip. I mean, because we've seen the line flip flop, and for me, you got to spread this short with odds this thin. To me, it's just to pick them. So points wouldn't even matter, 1.5 either way. If I were to bet it, I would play money line. I kind of lean. I do see the argument for Texas because the ACC was kind of weak this year. Was not its typical, deep, strong conference that we've seen in years past. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. So the over, which that totals 157.5. I'm seeing live right now on FanDuel. So I would lean over more so than a side, but I guess I just said we're going to tell you what we think. So I'm actually leaning NC State in this one. I think coaching may come into play down the road, but both of these teams are minus odds to win. That tells you just how not sure even Vegas is about this game. So it's a complete stay away for me on a side. I do kind of like the total, and it just went up as I'm sitting here to 158.5. So somebody at FanDuel is watching. Because the total's already on the move. So there you go. Let's see. What is our next one going to be? Well, we might as well talk about the elephant in the room for play-in games. And that is the one that is going to determine who Tennessee plays in the opening round. We have Southern Methodists. Boy, a Freudian slip there. Meth has nothing to do with this. Southern Methodist, SMU, and the one team, Josh, the one team that I didn't want any part of, I didn't want to even see in our part of the bracket, on our side, in our region, because I don't want to be that team. The Miami of Ohio.
Yep.
SMU's 6.5-point favorite. The total in this game is 163.5. SMU almost a $3 favorite on the money line. Everything, Josh, points to SMU in this game. What are your thoughts?
Well, I do have two plays in this game. I have put one in, but I haven't put the other yet in. So, going to be on Miami, Ohio. Got it at +7.5. It's down to 7. Still like it at 7. I like it all the way down to 5.5. I think they are very live in this game. And the other play I'm probably going to put in is the over 164. I just think both these teams are going to have a track meet. So SMU, they are averaging 84.2 points per game this season. In Miami of Ohio, they are averaging 90.7 points per game. So key players for both teams on both squads. So BJ Edwards, former Tennessee Volunteer,
Yep.
probably going to play tomorrow night, and Boopy Miller for SMU. Those two guys can score the rock. So watch out for them. And for Miami of Ohio, their key players are, let me make sure I'm getting this guy's name right. Elmer, I don't know how to pronounce his first name, but we'll go with that. and the white kid that hurt his wrist, he's a stud too. So over 164 and Miami of Ohio plus 7.
Yeah, I see a lot of points in this game as well. SMU has the 26th most efficient offense in college basketball, and neither team is really that great on the defensive side. SMU just inside the top 100. Miami of Ohio is just outside the top 100. So neither, well, they're a little more than just outside. They're 150. So defense isn't necessarily either of these teams' strong points. And it's a nice story, right? Miami of Ohio, undefeated in the regular season.
Yeah.
It's a great story. It's a feel-good
It
story.
is.
Great for you guys. But when you look at the strength of schedule, and especially the non-conference schedule, and I understand it's difficult sometimes for mid-majors to get Power 5 conferences to schedule them, especially at their place, because nothing good typically happens for a Power 5 team because you don't really get that many style points for a quad 3 or 4 win, and you have everything to lose if they come into your house and beat you. That becomes an instant bad loss on your resume. So I understand the challenge, but they played who was in front of them, and they beat everybody. Well, now you're stepping up into one of the best basketball conferences in the country. The Big Ten, the Big 12, arguably probably right there. And I'm going to say a step above the SEC. Y'all can throw daggers at me later. We'll see what happens in the tournament to determine that. But I just don't see them hanging around, especially with Boopy. He is scary, which concerns me about them playing Tennessee should they advance. Because if there's one thing that we can do, we can make a guard look like a superstar. And Boopy already brings his own stardom to the table. So I'm leaning more SMU in this game, and I'm actually leaning SMU to cover in this game. I think this might be where the glass slipper breaks on Cinderella and Miami of Ohio. So TBD. We shall soon see. All right, so let's get into the slate. The first game is going to be this is in the East region, I believe. That's TCU and Ohio State. It's an 8-9 game. Again, pretty tight. It's 2.5-point spreads in favor of the Buckeyes. The total's 146.5. This is one of those, a lot of people, the 8-9's tough. Some of the 7-10s are tough. And we've got a few of those this year as well. But Josh, Ohio State, TCU, any thoughts or plays on this one?
Yeah, I have a few plays in this game. So Ohio State coming into this game winning 4 out of their last 5. TCU winning their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the last 5. So 3 plays in this game I like. So we're going TCU plus 2.5. I just think Jamie Dixon as an underdog has been really pretty good this season, and I think TCU is going to dictate the top of pace in this game because Ohio State, they like the run and gun up and down the court. And I just think Dixon's going to slow it down. So TCU plus 2.5. And Hammer, the last few years, first half unders have been money makers in the first round. So I'm going first half under 67.5 and TCU first half money line plus 118.
All right. Well, I'm going to complete the sweep because I have a official bet on this game, and I have TCU outright money line. I don't need the points. And I think you hit the nail on the head. I think Jamie Dixon, as a head coach, is far more experienced and has tournament chops. So that's where I am. I think TCU is just a better team. As well as Ohio State has played down the stretch, this TCU team is pretty good, and I think we're going to see. Ohio State's run, come to an end. Trying to find them real quick here because there was a stat I wanted to throw out there about TCU. They are ranked 22nd in defensive efficiency. So they can give Ohio State problems on the defensive side of the ball. The only concern I have with them is their tempo, they're not consistent. Sometimes they can really slow it down. Other times they try to run, get out in transition, and they can turn the ball over. So if they can just play their game and dictate tempo without being forced kind of out of their comfort zone, then I think they can win this game. So that's where I'm going with this one. I think TCU's the play for me. Next game is going to be Troy and Nebraska. A lot of people got this one circled as an upset potential here. Troy's out of the Sun Belt. Nebraska, of course, out of the Big Ten. They started the season out in Fuego. Then they kind of cooled off down the stretch. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah,
it's a huge spread, by the way. It's 13.5 points.
I don't know if when you make your bets, if you look at what the public and the sharps are in, but I haven't looked at it. So,
not really.
Yeah, I don't care either. So I'm going to go with Troy. I think they're very live in this game, plus 13. I just feel like Nebraska, with that narrative, never winning an NCAA tournament game before, they're going to have a lot of pressure on them in this game. And I think the money line is very live in this game. So Victor Valdez for Troy, he is averaging 14.8 points per game. And if Troy wants to win this game and even make it a close game, he's going to have a really good game because he's one of their most consistent scorers for Troy, averaging 22.3% from three, 40.1 field goal percentage. So Troy plus 13, sprinkle some on the money line. And if you have a college player prop book, I would take Victor Valdez over 11.5 points.
I do like the player prop. I'm going to pump the brakes here on Troy. I think there's a chance they can cover this number. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. So typically when you have lower totals, the bigger spread, usually the dog is the right play on it. I don't think there's any chance Troy beats Nebraska as much as I would love to see it. I just think they're going to be a little bit too much for Troy. It's a huge step up in competition for them, for starters. And I just think Nebraska's defense is going to put the squeeze on them. They're the number 7 in defensive efficiency, and they will slow the tempo down, which of course speaks to the lower total. So I'm iffy on that. I'll probably stay away from it altogether. I think Troy probably can cover this down the stretch late, but I don't see any scenario where Nebraska loses this game.
Okay.
This is a fun one. It's the 1:30 game. the 6 seed Louisville and the 11 seed South Florida. Spread is 5.5 in favor of Louisville, and the total is at 164.5. I got a couple plays in this one, Josh, but I'll let you give your thoughts first.
Yeah, so I did a lot of digging and researching in this game. So South Florida, they had a really good winning streak to end the season, and they won their conference tournament in American Athletic. And Louisville really hasn't impressed me much this season. I know kind of been up and down year for the Cards. And Michael Brown for Louisville, he is a game time decision. I think he'll probably play, but spread was 5.5, went down to 5. I think I'm going to be on the dog here and take South Florida +5. I like the money line +185, and I like the over 165.5 in this game as well. I think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. And final play, official play in this game, Wes Ennis for South Florida. Keep an eye on this guy. Going to be a name over 17.5 points. Kid's a bucket, and I think he gets over the 17.5.
All right. Very good. For me, this is all about South Florida. I just can't bet Louisville because of Michael Brown, however you pronounce your name, buddy. If this dude's got this kind of back problems at his age, then how's he going to have an NBA career?
Right.
So I got a lot of questions. I've had them all season. If you've watched the Border Rivals podcast on Heavy Pour, I've been pretty critical and questioning this guy all season. So for that very reason, I can't do anything with Louisville, right? So you flip it over to this South Florida team who has been very bullish. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Down the stretch, and they're playing as hot as anybody in the country right now. I don't like a whole lot of upsets to kind of show my cards a little bit. But this is one I absolutely love. This is one of my 11 seed over 6 upsets. I like South Florida outright. I like South Florida first half is +2.5. I would take them on the money line first half. And the first half total is at 77.5.
What do you think about the?
I'm leaning under on the first half total. This may be a little bit of a heavyweight fight to start out.
Yeah.
And then South Florida's team total is 80.5. And I think
I was about to ask you about that.
Yeah, I think if the over gets there, South Florida absolutely will hit 80+ points. They have to. It all hinges. For me, the total kind of hinges on Brown. So I like South Florida outright, and I like South Florida first half money line as well. I think they're probably going to control this game start to finish, to be honest. Really like South Florida in this spot. All right, next game on the slate is, I think this is in the West. Let me check. I'm trying to give you the bracket.
This game's in Portland. Yeah.
Southwest. It's going to be the 12 seed High Point taking on the 5 seed Wisconsin. I do have an official play on this game. I am on the over. I've been banging the drum. If you watch the recap show with Hunter and I on Sunday night, didn't even see the total. I said I'm taking the over. This is going to be a barn burner. going to be a ton of points scored in this game. I think High Point can cover this number as well. Little note, first round tournament games over the last 2 seasons have got with a total of 6 or more. The favored team has covered 19 times out of 26. So when you see these big spreads, there's big spreads for a reason. Because the majority of the time, when you've got a Power 5 versus a mid-major, even a good mid-major, and you got a spread of over 6 points, it's almost an automatic cover. Year before last, Josh, this number was 24-2.
Wow.
For Power 5s against mid-majors with a spread of 6 or more. They covered it 24 out of 26 times. It got a little bit better last year for the mid-majors because I think line makers adjusted for that change. Well, I think it's sort of settled now back sort of in the middle of that. So I'm very leery of these big spreads for the mid-majors. We've got some almost 30-point spreads in some of these games. We've got some 22-point spreads. We've got some 24-point spreads. There's a reason that those spreads are so big. This is one that I don't know that I agree will fall into that category simply because of the offensive production that both these teams can put out. Neither one's particularly good at defending, especially the 3. Wisconsin's probably a little bit better. But High Point also can absolutely shoot the lights out. Same for Wisconsin. They get hot. They can score with anybody. They've put some big wins under their belt this year. So I wouldn't necessarily sleep on Wisconsin making some noise in this tournament. Both play pretty good tempo as well. High Point plays much faster than Wisconsin does, but Wisconsin's just outside of the top 100 in adjusted tempo for 100 possessions. It's going to be up and down. So I absolutely love the over the 164.5. This thing could get 170s if it goes overtime for any reason. I mean, easily getting the 180s. We could see 85, 90 points from either one of these teams.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you about the total. How high would you go up on the total?
I mean, I'm comfortable at like 169.5 without even really blinking. Anything over that, I mean, I think some things would have to happen. But I think Wisconsin wins the game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not picking an upset here, but there's going to be a lot of points, and therefore, I'd be leery. If you're a Wisconsin backer, I'd be leery of that 10.5. I think this is one that the big mid-major dog might just cover. All right, the next game is going to be. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm usually letting you go first, so
you're good.
Muscle memory.
So I got 3 plays in this game. Hammer, I agree with you. I think High Point covers this game. +10. Don't know if they win the game. I doubt it, but I think Wisconsin wins a really close game at the end. And what did you say High Point, their tempo ranked is this season?
Oh, give me a second. All right. Just looked at it. They are 49th in the nation in possessions per 100. Yeah.
Yeah, so both teams like to get up and down the floor. And I'm going to be on the first half over in this game, 76.5. That's the second
Don't hate
play.
That either. Yep.
Yeah, I just like the Miami, Ohio SMU game. I think this game is going to be a track meet, start to finish. And third final play, I'm going to go Nick Boyd for Wisconsin over 21.5 points. He's been money all season long, ATM printing machine over his point total. So, You're gonna have to eat a little juice minus 134, but I like his over 21.5.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't disagree with any of that. In full support as well. Next game on the slate, it's number 1 Duke or Siena. Let's see, what time's this game tip? This game tips at 2:50, so probably time of death will be about what, 4:48
Yeah, 4:48. I was
Central
gonna
Time.
say 3. I was gonna say 3:15.
Yeah, it may be over quicker than that. So
Yeah.
but can't officially declare them dead until the buzzer sounds. But yeah, 28.5 is the spread. I talked about we had almost 30-point spreads. Do with that what you will. I just almost out of principle can't play. I can't play that. Duke will probably beat them by 40.
Yeah.
But it's just untouchable for me. I total the same way. More than likely, that total goes over. Duke's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting in that one. But I mean, come on, that's almost absurd. Anything
I have a
official in
play.
that one, Josh?
Yeah, if I get to the counter with it, I'm probably going to be on Duke team total over 82.5. That's the
Oh yeah,
only way I would play anything in this game. I just
yeah.
would
The
it
only
be would it,
concern,
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, the only concern I have with that, anything total wise,
Yeah,
is when Duke gets up like 40 points, do they rest the stars because they are down a
true.
couple guys, and they may need to
Yeah,
preserve some minutes for heftier competition. That's my only concern and call out. I'm not
yeah.
saying you're wrong. That's just one thing that I look at that I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to touch my toe to the water there.
Right. Yeah, that's why I said if I get to the counter with this play, I just feel like Duke could name their score in this game. They could get to 100 if they really wanted to. So, yeah, Duke team total over 82.5.
Yeah, I think that's there. I think they could score. I think their backups could come in and score 90 in this game. So, I don't even really want to talk about this next game because screw them.
Peabody.
But we go to the South. It's a 3:15 tip. It's Peabody versus McNeese State. There will not be a bigger McNeese State fan outside of graduates than me Thursday at 2:15 Central Time. It's an 11.5-point spread. It's 150-point total. I don't. A lot of people like McNeese in this, and I'm like, you're stupid. Vanderbilt is unfortunately going to beat the hell out of McNeese. So I'm not touching this game, but they could probably beat them by 20 plus. And I hate it. And screw you, Peabody. You got anything official?
Yeah, I have one official play and one other lean. So, official play, I already placed this. Vandy first half minus 5.5. I just want to get in, get out on this game. I just don't want to lay the 11.5 and risk a backdoor cover with Vandy, which could possibly happen. So I played first half minus 5.5 with Vandy. The lean I have is Tyler Tanner over 19.5 points. Do I need to give any reason at all? Just dude is a bucket, and he could probably score 22 or 25 in this game.
Yeah. Yeah. Guard play is huge in the NCAA tournament. If you look back over the champions over the past several years and even Final Four teams, majority of the time they have elite, not good, elite guard play. And unfortunately, Peabody's got a couple pretty good ones. in Tanner and Duke. So they're going to be a tough out. It's going to take a big dog to knock them out, I'm afraid, and they're not going to see that for a bit. So yeah, McNeese, sorry, you're done before it starts. Here's another game that a lot of people are liking the dog in, and I'm kind of shaking my head at this because, again, yeah, great story. Everybody loves the underdog. It's a 14-3 matchup in the East, and that's Michigan State and North Dakota State. The line is 15.5 in favor of the Spartans. The total is 143.5. Anything official on this one, Josh?
Yeah, I'm probably going to get to the window with these two plays I have. So, like I was saying last game, don't want to play a full spread in this game and risk a backdoor cover. So I'm going to be on Michigan State first half -8.5. Like you said, Hammer, great story, but I don't think it's going to be a close game in this game. And I like the first half under in this game as well, under 67.5.
Yeah, I'm hearing all kinds of arguments from all kinds of people about North Dakota State this and North Dakota State that. And they were the best at this in their conference and the best in that at their conference. Well, look, they're not in their conference. They're playing against one of the most legendary tournament coaches in history. Like him, love him, hate him, whatever. Tom Izzo is an absolute elite coach in the postseason. North Dakota State has no shot of beating Michigan State. None. Stop it. Stop the nonsense. I played Michigan State over Michigan State -16.5. It has dropped a point. I just don't see a world that North Dakota State covers this number. There's no way they win this game. Stop it, people. That is not going to help you in your bracket. This Michigan State team can go far in this tournament. Don't screw yourselves right out of the gate. Thank you. Public service announcement over. Next game is going to be out west as well. It is Arkansas taking on Hawaii. It's also 15.5 points. 160.5 is the total. Again, Arkansas could probably name their number. They'll win this game by 20 plus. You got anything on the Hogs in this one?
Yeah, so I'm going to be on Hawaii in this game. The only positive reason why I'm going to be on the Rainbows this year, because we've seen John Calipari's history in the tournament. So when he was at Kentucky, double-digit favorites against St. Peter's, Oakland, you lost outright, John Calipari. But we saw it last year when he was an underdog against Kansas first round. Beat Kansas outright. He's great as an underdog, as a coach. So, and Hawaii plays in a decent conference. I think they can cover this number. They're not a bad team, so I'm going to go with Hawaii plus 15 in this game.
Good luck. All right. Next game on the docket is going to be 6:50 Eastern time. Is going to be the Tar Heels of North Kakalaki taking on VCU. This spread has shrunk. It is now down to -2.5 in favor of the Tar Heels. Total is 153.5. Josh, we have another 11-6 matchup. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to be on VCU plus 2.5 and VCU money line in this game. So Caleb Wilson done for the season. Just watching North Carolina on offense is just dreadful without him. So this VCU team is pretty damn good. They won their conference tournament, and I just feel like they're going to win this game outright. Don't even need the points, but I'm taking the points and the money line in this game.
Yeah, everything about this game for me is it's VCU or bust. Again, I'm not playing the points. You get a little plus money on VCU at plus 114. I have played that. This is my other 11-6 upset that I've played. The ACC was not good this year. Outside of Duke, we saw a little life from Clemson. Florida State gave Duke a game in the tournament. Louisville has been up and down because of the whole Mikael Brown situation. There's just Miami's okay. I mean, there's just not another elite team in a conference that we're used to seeing get so many teams in at such good seeds. They're just this was a gift, in my opinion, to put North Carolina in, even at a 6. So it's VCU for me. I don't see them. I don't see North Carolina surviving this first round. I just don't. Next game, 7:35 tip. This one is in the South as well. It is the 7 seed St. Mary's taking on the Aggies of Texas A&M, our old friends. Line in this game is 2.5. Total is 147.5. Any plays on this, Josh, or what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, playing this game, and here's what I think is going to happen. So St. Mary's is going to want to dictate the pace of this game. If they play it half court, slow the game down, I think they'll win the game. But if Texas A&M is able to run and gun up court and make their shots, then I think the Aggies will win this game. So that's what I think will happen. And by playing this game, I like A&M +3. I just think they run up and gun down the court against St. Mary's, and I think they make their shots. So Aggies +3 in this game.
Okay. One of the big arguments when you have teams like this is a really great team. I mean, this team beat Gonzaga at the end of the season. I was fortunate enough to catch that game. I was up late. Mrs. Hammer was out at one of her social events, so I was left unsupervised, and crazy things happen when that goes down. So I went buck wild and stayed up and watched this game with Gonzaga and St. Mary's, and it was very tight, back and forth. I don't know how many lead changes. It was absurd. Probably more lead changes than Alabama's had felony basketball players. And then St. Mary's pulls away at the end. So the argument always is, well, look at their non-conference. They don't play anybody. Not so fast. St. Mary's actually has a stronger non-conference schedule than Texas A&M does. St. Mary's also is better offensive efficiency. They are better defensive efficiency. And they will absolutely grind this game to a stop. They will force Texas A&M to play their style of basketball. The only way I think Texas A&M has a shot in this game is if they can get out in transition and score second chance points. Otherwise, this is a St. Mary's win, and I won't say blowout, but they could win this game handily. I don't have an official play on it yet, but I am moving St. Mary's on in my bracket because I think they're actually a legit threat, and I think they're better than A&M. A&M's inconsistent. We've seen them struggle at times. We've seen them look great at times. If you look at just their metrics, it's actually really good. Their resume looks really good on paper. St. Mary's is better. And they've beaten a 3 seed. They've beaten Gonzaga. Yeah, I know they got taken out in their tournament, but this is every one of these games, these teams come in and play like it's their last. And Randy Bennett will have these guys ready to go. I just like St. Mary's in this spot. So anyway, I'll shut up. Next game, this is simple. It's Illinois against Penn. Illinois, the 3 seed, Penn is the 14. The spread is 23.5. The total is 150.5. I do have an official play. I have Illinois to cover. I don't think I did a play on the total. Let me just look real quick. Nope. I got Illinois. I got it at 24.5. I still like it. Blowout city. Illinois does something that elite teams do. They absolutely squeeze the life out of inferior competition. They will basically make it impossible for Penn to score, to rebound. They'll chase them off the 3-point line, and Penn is in the mid 300s in scoring 2-point shots and scoring at the rim. That's what Illinois is going to force them to do, and they can't do it. Illinois will beat the hell out of Penn. 30 plus. Anything in that one?
Yeah, I'm kind of fading Penn in a way, but not how you think I'm fading Penn. So I don't know if you watched their conference championship game against Yale Sunday.
Yep, pissed me
Great
off.
game.
I was on Yale.
Yeah, I don't know how they came back and won, but TJ Power went for 44 points. I'm fading
He ain't doing
him
that against Illinois.
in this game. I'm taking his under 16.5 points. I just, like you said, Hammer, this Illinois team is going to make life difficult for him. They're just going to pressure him and just suck the life out of him. So TJ Power under 16.5 points.
Yeah, honest to God, I don't know if Penn can score 60 in this game. I just want to look real quick and see what Penn's team total is, because I haven't dove into some of these.
62.5.
They won't make that's under. I don't see them getting that. No. I don't see them getting to 60.
Agreed.
This Illinois team is really good. In fact, I thought they would. I thought they might have a shot at getting a 2 seed, actually. But that's probably right. 3's probably right. All right. So the next game, because we're getting well into the day here, we're at the 9:45 East tip, and we've got St. Louis against the Leg Humpers. Which, that's in the East, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's Midwest.
Midwest.
In the Midwest, yeah. So we got one of those tricky 8-9 matchups. It's a 2.5-point spread in favor of the Dogs. Total in this one, 169.5. Josh, that's a lot of points, brother.
That is a lot of points.
What, if anything, do you have, and what do you think?
So I like the over in this game, 169.5. I just like the last 2 games I was talking about before. I think this game is going to be a track meet, and I think both teams are going to score a lot of points in this game. And the other play I have in this game, let's see. I like Robbie Avila under 13.5 points.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't think Goggles is going to be a factor?
I don't know. I was kind of leaning over, but I heard he was dealing with like a ankle injury.
Okay, well, that's something to keep an eye on for sure because
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if that's a make or break for the total.
Right.
I bet it over 169.5 is one of the first bets I put in alongside the High Point, Wisconsin over 164.5. Those jumped off the page to me, even though that's a lot of points, man. That's why I kind of led with that. That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I'm on it. Here's why. Georgia plays at the 16th fastest tempo. St. Louis plays at the 21st fastest tempo. Both these teams like to run. Neither are particularly strong at guarding. St. Louis is better than Georgia. But I think there's going to be so many possessions in this game and so many opportunities for scoring. I just don't see either one of these teams stopping the other. The line certainly suggests that, and I just think this game could get into the high 80s, lower 90s. It's going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch for sure. And then we've got two more games on Thursday. Gonzaga, who is the 3 seed in the West. They're taking on a spunky Kennesaw State team. Kind of a bid stealer there with Kennesaw State. I'm not sold on this Gonzaga team this year, Josh. I know Mark Few, he's in that group of elite, the Tom Izzos and the Caliparis and
right.
Patino, the list goes on and on. He's in that fraternity for sure. I'm just not sold on this Gonzaga team.
I agree.
I know Caravan came back for his 14th season, and they've got high hopes. And I do think they advance. I'm not suggesting Kennesaw State beats them, but I'm just not as sold on them as I have been in years past.
Graham Ek?
Ek.
Yeah.
Sorry, Caravan is UConn.
UConn,
Sorry, my apologies. Thank you for
correcting
me. I like Ek. I like a lot about Gonzaga, like individually. I just don't see them being the same power that they've been in years past. So, all that said, they will destroy Kennesaw State. No official play for me in this one, but I think they cover. There's not going to be very many of these matchups like this that you're going to see me taking the dog in. So it's going to be very chalky for me for the most part. So do you have a play in this one at all?
Yeah, I think I'm going to get to the window with 2 plays in this game. So first play, we're going first half under 72 flat. And the second play, this game kind of reminds me of Omaha and St. John's from last year, where Omaha covered the first half, but St. John's covered full game. I could see a scenario in this game where Kennesaw State covers the 11.5 in the first half, and Gonzaga covers the full game. So give me Kennesaw State plus 11.5 first half.
Yeah. I kind of like that first half under a little bit better than I like anything to do with Kennesaw State as a team. This Gonzaga defense is tough. They're top 10 in defensive efficiency. They're 29th in offensive efficiency. So from a metric standpoint, they fit the bill of top 30 offense, top 20 defense of a national champion. I don't think this is the team to do it. They do have I believe it's a quad 4 loss, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
They can have an off night, but they played a lot of tough teams out of conference. So I sort of give them a pass on that. It was because everybody,
Right.
everybody can have an off game, right?
Yeah.
Everybody can just can't throw it in the ocean standing in a boat. There's no way Kennesaw stays in this game. I'm sorry. And I do like a first half under because I think it'll, and most of these games you're probably safe playing first half unders. Unless it's just a ridiculously low total in the, low to mid 130s. I think a first half under in just about any of them is going to be because you're talking about teams that are going into, opponent they've never played in a building they've never played in. And, oh gosh, I'm on TV and there's a lot of freshmen and so there's a lot of reasons: sight lines, lighting, the floor, the court, the rim, the backboard. Like there's so many things that can get you out of your rhythm and knock you off your game. So I think everybody's going to have some adjustment time to that, especially teams that rely heavily on the 3-point shot.
Agreed.
Unless you're Jack Golke, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Most teams kind of struggle. So while some of these totals I think will get there, first half unders is a good play to look at for that reason. At least on day one. Now, day two on Saturday, when they've gotten through it, more practice time, they played a game, they kind of get adjusted. But Thursdays and Fridays, I like a lot of first half unders. So you'll never hear me chase you off that. Next game, Idaho and Houston. Josh, can you believe that there are actually people talking about Idaho in this game?
Yeah.
Again, I don't think this Houston team is as good as the team that went to the championship game last year.
Agreed.
But they've got one of those guys that's in that fraternity of Kelvin Sampson. They have a very elite guard combination with Emmanuel Sharp and Kingston Fleming. And if there's a team that can absolutely shit up, it's Houston. I know they didn't look as strong down the stretch, but Idaho is not going to do anything except lose and lose badly. Team total under for Idaho. Josh, I don't know what it is, and I don't care. I will take it.
55 and a half.
This game. How much?
55 and a half.
That sounds about right because they've held Power 5 teams to that score this season. So I don't care how good Idaho shot in the Big Sky or the Big MAC quarter pounder, whatever league they play in.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. Houston by a bunch. Idaho's going to get slapped pretty hard in this game. And I got no love for Houston. Don't get me wrong. We got a little get back on them from last year, but it's just facts, man. They're going to be a problem for everybody they play, and they are everybody they play. Looking at you, Florida. Yeah. Okay, looking at you, Florida.
Yep. So 3 plays in this game. I like Houston first half minus 13.5, kind of the narrative with Vandy McNeeson, the other game I was talking about. Just don't want to risk a backdoor cover, so get in, get out. In the second play in this game, we're going under first half, 62.5. I just don't see 60-plus points in the first half. I just feel like Houston walks down Idaho into a drawer. I just don't see them scoring much in this game.
Idaho may not get to 20 in the first half.
Yeah. In third final play, we're going Kingston Fleming's over 16.5 points.
Yeah. Sharp did not have a good game when they lost. Excuse me. in the conference tournament, so he's got a little bit of a bad taste in his mouth.
Yeah.
But Fleming's the key. He's the straw that stirs the drink. But those two guys together, man, they are trouble. They've got everything that you collectively want in a team going into this tournament. Will they get there? I don't know, but I think they caught a little bit of a break being in the South, where I thought they might get stuck out west with Arizona, which is probably by design by the committee to not do that. So it may be a collision course with Florida. We'll see as we go a little bit deeper with some of our picks in the Elite Eights and Final Fours and such. But anyway, yeah, Houston rolls in this game, and Idaho is basically going to get a participation trophy. So,
yeah.
All right, so that's everything on Thursday.
Friday.
We'll pick up a little speed here because we still got some Elite Eight, Final Four type stuff to talk about. So, first game, Kentucky fans, you're favored 3.5. Totals 160.5. The Santa Clara team's pretty good, Josh.
They are.
And, I know Kentucky would much rather have been probably in the East, probably been in Philly, would have been ideal. At least I think that's what Rando was hoping for.
Yeah.
But they got stuck in the Midwest with us and Iowa State and Michigan, even Virginia, one of the few other good teams in the ACC. Santa Clara the 10, Kentucky the 7. Josh, I know there's a whole lot of Kentucky folks worried about this game.
Yeah.
And I tend to agree. In fact, I tend to agree to the point that I have Santa Clara money line and I have Santa Clara advancing in my bracket. I think the one and done Calipari curse may fall on Mark Pope against a pretty feisty Santa Clara group. What do you think about this game?
Yeah, so I have 2 plays in this game. So on a positive note for Kentucky, if they want to even make this a close game and possibly win this game, we're going first play Otega Owe over 22.5 points. I just feel like he is the straw that stirs the drink, and he's going to have a really good game for them to win this game. So that's the first play. Second play, we are going first half under 75.5 points. So don't have a side in this game. If I were to lean, I would take Santa Clara plus the 3.
Okay. Yeah. I know Santa Clara, is kind of the trendy pick. And I mean, they're like anybody else. You could look at their season and say, oh man, they laid a couple eggs. They lost some games against some pretty weak opponents. We've seen Kentucky struggle and lose some close games. They can go through some kind of big stretches, 6-8 minute stretches, and not score. Can't do this against Santa Clara. Kentucky's much better defensively than Santa Clara, but Santa Clara is a top 25 offense, and they can, if they get hot, they can absolutely get Kentucky out of their game. Transition, second chance points going to be critical in this one. I think there is a path for Kentucky. I think Owe and Moreno are going to have monster games, but they're probably going to need somebody. Aberdeen's going to have to. Somebody's going to have to step up and play above their average if Kentucky's going to have a shot in this, because Santa Clara can fill it up. That total might be in jeopardy too. This might be a shootout.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Big Blue Nation. That's just facts. All right, this next game, I got this one circled. We've got the JT Toppinless Texas Tech Red Raiders against the Akron Zips. 7.5 is the line. 155.5 is the total. Money line is minus 360 for Texas Tech. It is plus 280 on Akron. Josh, do you have an official play in this game?
Yes, I do. So, 2 plays in this game, Hammer. You can leave the points at the door because the Akron Zips are going to win this game.
My man.
Akron money line plus 278. So,
Yes.
JT Toppin, like you said, out. Christian Anderson for Texas Tech, probably a game time decision. And second play in this game, we are going to go first half under 73.5. I just think Akron is going to play a run and gun pace in this game all game, and I don't think Texas Tech makes enough shots in the first half to get this over total. So under first half, 73.5.
Akron plays at light speed. Texas Tech plays at a snail's pace.
Akron averages 88.4 points per game.
They are a machine offensively, and they play up tempo. They're top 30, 32 in tempo. So they get a lot of possessions. The other thing that they do really well, because overall defensively they're not great, but one thing they do extremely well is pressure the ball and they create turnovers. That's going to give the guards for Texas Tech, whoever they may be, because we don't know for sure, doesn't matter. That's going to give them fits, and that's how they get so many possessions is off turnovers. And Texas Tech is really good defensively when they're on. Akron's going to run circles around them. They're going to wear them out with their tempo. Texas Tech is 243rd in tempo, Josh.
Wow.
I'm on Akron. Yep, I'm with you. I'm throwing the points out. I'm taking Akron on the money line. I am advancing Akron in my bracket. So there's a Cinderella for you. And not to get too hung up on it, but should Akron advance in the first round, they would play the winner of the Hofstra How High University, the Gumps.
Yep.
And we'll get to that Hofstra in Alabama in a minute, but Josh, I see a path for Akron to get to the Sweet 16.
I do too.
Okay. We'll come back to it then. The next game is Arizona's going to put on a exhibition against Not for Long Island University because that's going to be their tournament stay, Not for Long. 31.5 is the total, or excuse me, the spread, 150.5 is the total. Arizona's going to destroy them. You just have to decide if you want to get involved with a 31.5 point spread or not. There's absolutely nothing with Long Island I'm touching. If anything I do, it's going to be Arizona and it's going to be the over, but no play for me on this one yet.
Yeah, no play for me in this game. If I were to play something, Arizona minus 30.5, they're going to beat the shit out of Long Island.
Yep. That's going to be a kind of a theme, I think, through the West region. Then we've got Virginia playing that pesky Horizon League team in Wright State. Virginia, a 3 seed. In the Midwest, Wright State, of course, the 14. 17.5 is the spread for Virginia. 145.5 is the total. Anything on this one for you, Josh?
Yeah, I think Virginia wins the game, but doesn't cover. I think Wright State makes it interesting. So Wright State plus 18.5. Only play Ive in that game.
Yeah, they're pesky. Trying to pull them on the Ken Palm. It looks like they're going to be a ways down here. Yeah. Yeah, they're outside the top 100 in offense. They're just inside the top 200 in defensive efficiency and barely under top 200 in possessions. So it's not a great matchup. Virginia also is very slow paced, but their defense is going to be just absolutely stifling and probably going to suck the life out of Wright State. I kind of look at them kind of the same way I look at Illinois with their ability to just squeeze inferior competition and just dictate everything, impose their will. No official play. I'm probably not going to play it at all. If I did, I would lean Virginia covering that number, and I would lean the under because I think they're going to make things very difficult for Wright State. It's going to be tough to get rebounds. It's going to be tough for them to execute their offense. And again, neither team plays very fast, so this total might be a little offline for me at 145.5. I don't see it getting there. Then we've got Iowa State and Tennessee State, also in the Midwest region. Iowa State the 2, Tennessee State the 15. 24.5 in favor of Iowa State. 149.5 is the total. Anything official from you in this one, Josh?
Yeah, 2 official plays. So we're going Iowa State first half minus 13.5 and first half under 69.5.
Yep, that's what I'm on. I'm on first half under. That's one thing. Iowa State can absolutely do to anybody is absolutely shut you down offensively. They are the 4th best team in defensive efficiency. They play a very slow, methodical pace. And I will say this for them. They are probably one of the most balanced teams. But they can get streaky offensively. They can go cold at times on offense. That's why I kind of like with you. I'm kind of like the under first half. I think Tennessee State's going to have a very difficult time, especially in the post, scoring at the basket. Probably not going to get a lot of second chance points. They're going to have to rebound their lives out to have any shot in this game, and I don't see it. So for me, all that spells under. And if I like a game under, I sure like a first half under. So I think Iowa State probably cover this. I don't want to touch it because I think an under, that's risky. But I'm on the first half under as well. All right, the next game on the slate is 3:15 East. It's going to be in I keep getting the East and the West, and Jesus, I'm sitting here even looking at it.
Yeah.
I keep saying East. This one I've got not East. It's Midwest. I'm just forgive me. I've had a rough day. All right.
All right.
We got the 4 seed. No, not where am I at? Good God Almighty. Yes, the 4 seed, Alabama and Hofstra. I don't think it's any surprise at this point that we've learned that Aiden Holloway I mean, dude, 2 pounds is like that's almost a hefty bag.
Yeah,
Like that's a lot. That's a lot of hippie lettuce.
it
So,
is.
Phylon gets all the attention on this team, right?
Yeah,
And who's their big guy? Cheryl? Is that his name?
yeah, Cheryl.
All right. Guess who Alabama's leading scorer is?
I would say Aiden Holloway.
It's Aiden Holloway. So while everybody's kind of like, everybody's still on Alabama. And I think this thing opened at like 13 and a half. It's down to 11 and a half. And it may have been higher than that. I want to pick Hofstra outright so bad because I think they can play with Bama. This is going to disrupt them, and people can say what they want about Hofstra, and Alabama being from the mighty SEC. They're going to be impacted by Holloway's absence. He's important to that team. Yes, Alabama, third high scoring offense or third most efficient offense in college basketball. They play the fourth fastest tempo. They get the fourth or have the most possessions, fourth most possessions. But they live and die at the 3-point line. And I think that's where Hofstra can give them problems. Is challenging those 3-point shots. They're not going to just let them stand there and shoot. I just can't say they're going to win. I can't go that far, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did. I liked it better at 13 and a half. I didn't play it. I kind of like the over with Holloway. I don't know that I want to touch it without him. I just really don't know what to do with this game now. I'm making sure I didn't bet it. I did not. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. It certainly is a distraction with him gone off the team. I do think there's a path where they can win Hofstra in this game. So 2 plays in this game: Hofstra first half plus 6.5 and first half under 74.5. I just, like you said, I think Bama loves to shoot a lot of threes, and I feel like Hofstra can run them off the 3-point line and force them in the 2-pointers. So yeah, Hofstra first half plus 6.5 and first half under 74.5.
Yeah. I think it's just going to be disruptive. I don't know that Alabama won't shoot any worse than they normally do. I think it's just going to disrupt their offensive flow and be a distraction. Is probably the biggest thing with that. And again, Hofstra is not going to just stand there and let them shoot. And if Nate Oates feels like that's his only chance in this game, then he'll put up 50 or 60 threes. Like he literally will just shoot 3-pointers all day long if he thinks that that's going to be his path to win. They're actually going to have to rebound in this game because Hofstra is they're a pretty good rebounding team. They do get a lot of second chance points, and I think that's where they can stay in this game because Cheryl's going to do one of two things. He's either going to get tired or he's going to get in foul trouble. And Hofstra doesn't mind mixing it up a little bit with you either. They'll get physical, and they play at an absolute snail's pace. So if Bama's not on and they're not hitting their threes, I could see this game going a good bit under the total, and anything's possible this time of year. Nothing would make me happier, Josh, outside of Tennessee going to the Final Four, than to see Akron and Hofstra play each other over Texas Tech and Alabama. That would just make me so happy. I would love to see that. A 12 and a 13 playing each other. That's where I think Akron has a path, because I think even if Alabama wins, I think Akron can beat Alabama.
Akron is 20-1 to make the Sweet 16.
And that's not terrible odds.
No.
I kind of like that. In fact, made a note. All right, the next game, which is another 8-9, and that is in the West. Got this one right. That's Villanova, Utah State. Utah State is now a 1.5-point favorite. I think Villanova opened as a 1.5-point favorite. I got Utah State on the money line in this game. Most likely this game goes over. I just think Utah State coming down the stretch played really well, and I think they can cause a lot of problems for Villanova. But Villanova, I think they're there based on their legacy and the conference they play in, quite frankly. I felt like we got to put another Big East team in here. I think Utah State gets them. What do you think?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, just one official play in this game. I like Utah State on the money line as well. I just feel like they are the better team in this game, and Villanova had a pretty good season. They made the tournament, and I just feel like Utah State is the better team. So, yeah, Utah State on the money line. And I do lean over 147 because I feel like these two teams could get up and down the court. So, yeah, I'll lean over 2 as well.
Yeah. Neither one play particularly fast tempo. I think Utah State can go more quickly than Villanova, certainly than what Villanova likes to, because they're right around 300 in tempo. So, they'll want to kind of try to grind it down and play more half-court sets and stuff, but Utah State may not let them do that. And if that's the case, yeah, I could easily see this game getting over. And I don't think Villanova will be able to dictate pace to this Utah State team. So I kind of like the over as well. Looks like we've got another 9-8 matchup in TCU and Clemson. And that's in the South. So
Iowa and Clemson.
Iowa. Who did I say?
TCU.
Good God. I may just have to let you finish the show. I'm having issues.
That's all right. That's okay, Hammer.
Yeah, I can't tell you what happened at work today because legal reasons and contract reasons, but it was a rough day, brother. Almost got kicked off of a job. So anyway, Iowa and Clemson. And Josh, what's worse about it is I looked at it on the bracket and I looked at it on the odds, both. And said TCU. So
double whammy.
Yeah, buddy. So Clemson and Iowa, 2.5-point spread in favor of the Hawkeyes, 129. This is a low total. 129.5. What are your thoughts on this one? I have a play in this game, so I'll let you go first.
Yeah. I don't have a play in this game, but if I end up playing something, it's going to be Iowa -2. But I don't know if I'm going to play it yet.
When Clemson holds their opponent to under 69 points this season, they are 17-0. when Iowa and Clemson take the court, between tip-off and the first 10 points scored, you will have time to get up, go make a sandwich, pour a beer, take out the dog, do a load of laundry, finish your homework, and meal prep for next week. These Iowa basketball plays almost as slowly as Iowa football. Neither one of these teams get in a hurry. So that total at 129.5, dude, that might be a dead under, and that's insane.
Yeah.
I think this is extremely close game. I don't have a play on the side. I'm going to take first half to under. And, dude, I'm tempted. I did this. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if we were doing shows when this happened, but there was a line that came out. Iowa, and I forget who they played.
Yeah.
But the total of the game, this is football, the total of the game was 23.5. And I jokingly put out on Twitter, not jokingly for me, but for everybody else,
Right.
I said, who's going to sweat this 23.5 total under with me?
Yeah.
And I bet it. The score of that game was 13-3.
Oh, wow.
I was not foreign to ridiculously low totals. I think I'm going to do it just for the same reason. Like, that's going to be fun to sweat out.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I could see this. I could see this game being like 62-56 or 60-58. Like, it's going to be close, as the spread indicates, because neither one of these teams is going to get a very big lead. I don't think either one of these teams are going to score 70 points. So this might be the one for Clemson on their holding opponents to under 69. I do think Iowa probably wins, but if there's could be half points scored in basketball, one of these two teams would figure out how to do it. So give me the under 129.5. Screw it. Which leads us right into the next game. St. John's in northern Iowa. This one is in the East. I was 3 for 3 on that one, Josh. I got all that right.
There you go.
St. John's is favored 10.5. The total in this game, folks, it's 131.5. And I got 2 plays in it, Josh, so go ahead.
Yeah, I got 2 plays as well. So I like Northern Iowa plus 10.5, and I like the under 131.5.
Yep. This Northern Iowa team defensively is very good. I've said it all season long, and I'm a Patino fan. I hated him, of course, when he was in Kentucky, but I still respected him. And with his stops at Iona and now St. John's, I've actually been a fan because I think he's just a legendary coach. And he tells it like it is. Like, he doesn't pull punches. He will absolutely throw his guys under the bus. He will absolutely call their ass out in the press conference. Like, he just doesn't care. And he's earned the right to not care. This St. John's team does not shoot well. They don't shoot the 3 very well. Northern Iowa contests everything. I think this is a rock fight, just like this Iowa-Clemson game is going to be. I think it's going to get ugly. St. John's defensively is outstanding. For a 5 seed in this tournament, offensively, it doesn't match up. I actually like Northern Iowa to cover this number. I officially bet that plus 10.5. I have not bet the under yet, but I don't see it going any other direction. because Northern Iowa is absolutely gonna drag this pace down to a crawl, and they're not going to have very many. They're not going to have very many second chance points. Just to give you perspective, Northern Iowa, what are there? 368, 366, something like that. Teams in Division One. Their tempo is 363rd.
Wow.
Defensive efficiency, they're 24th in the nation. I could easily see this game going under.
Yeah.
And just for comparison, St. John's is the 12th most efficient team on defense. So two juggernauts, two extremely, extremely conflicting styles because St. John's loves to run. I think Northern Iowa can control that transition game and keep them slowed down, force them to shoot the ball in half court, and St. John's is not good at doing that. So give me Northern Iowa to cover the 10.5, and I'm probably going to get there with the under. Well, all right. Staying in the East, we've got 7 seed UCLA, 10 seed Central Florida. Central Florida has been a little darling too, Josh, the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
Making a big run at the end of the season. And they run into a Mick Cronin squad that's they've been a little all over the place this year.
They have been.
Spread is 5.5 in favor of the Bruins. 152.5 is the total. Do you have an official play, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, 2 official plays in this game. So we're going first half under 71.5 in this game. And second play, we're going UCF first half plus 3.5. I just feel like first half is going to be a fill it out of each other kind of boxing match. And I think it's going to be a very low first half. And that's why I played first half, because second half, I feel like UCLA will kind of pull away in this game. So, yeah, that's my 2 plays. UCF plus 3.5 first half, and first half under 71.5.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that as well. No official play for me in this one. I do have UCLA moving on in the bracket. Back when I was young and innocent and dumb and stupid and wanted to go to Duke, I loved Johnny Dawkins, one of my favorite players when I was a younger feller, and he's proven to be a heck of a coach. If there's an over-under on Mick Cronin getting ejected, I would take the over. I don't know if it's this game. There's a potential matchup there with UConn a little later on. Could easily see one of those 2 guys getting thrown out of a game. But there's one thing about Mick Cronin. He can make second half adjustments, and he's a very good in-game coach. So I kind of lean that experience with Cronin. Probably better athletes overall with UCLA, and I tend to agree with you. I think it's going to be a little bit of a heavyweight fight, feeling each other out. First half, UCF probably going to get some punches in there, but I think as the game goes on, I think that's where UCLA will kind of rise up and take it. But wouldn't hurt my feelings at all to see Johnny Dawkins and UCF win that game.
Same.
Just don't think it's going to happen. I got to, unfortunately, go with the Bruins. So I don't even really want to talk about this next one, but I will. Purdue 25.5 over Queens. Totals 163.5. I hate Purdue. Could fire them into the sun tomorrow, and that's a shame, and go on with life. I don't have a play on this. I don't really care. But I think Purdue covers this number. Queens is going to be checkmate for Queens.
Agreed.
So
No
we'll move on.
official play for me as well.
Yeah, we'll move on. Nobody cares about you, Purdue. Next one is interesting to some folks. Understanding this. I take it back. I do understand it because we've seen Kansas all season long with Peterson. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Just like Mikael Brown, we've got Darren Peterson, the same thing. I mean, dude, if you're so worried about injury or load management that you can't even show up for your team because you're worried about, what's going to happen in the draft, then just sit your ass down and stop messing with people. I'm really having a hard time believing all this injury crap out of him. I think it's literally he chooses when he wants to play and when he doesn't. So for that reason, I can't get involved with Kansas, period, because I don't know what to expect. If I had to play anything, I'd stay away from the 14.5. I would probably lean over in this game, but Kansas is a complete stay away from me. I had an early futures ticket on them, and part of it's just sour grapes and pissed off that they handled the season the way they did with him. Bill Self's another one of those guys that knows how to get it done in March, but we just don't know. We don't know what Kansas team is going to step out on the floor. So for me, it's a total stay away. Would lean over. Anything you got in Cal Baptist in Kansas?
Yeah, the only play I would really play in this game would be Kansas first half -7.5.
That's probably good. Yeah, I think they covered that. This is one of those
Yeah.
iffy ones that could be a backdoor late cover.
Yeah,
So that's why I don't want any part of it.
agreed.
And even if Peterson plays, will he play the whole game? Will they get up
Yeah.
20? Will they get up 20 and then he says, "All right, coach, stop. My back, my ankle, my knee,
Yeah.
my neck." So I just can't trust him, man. So no
Same.
American money, no more American money for me, Kansas. All right, 2 games left. We got UConn and Furman. Surprising, this game's only 20.5. I thought it would be more. Total's 136.5. I think UConn's coming in pissed. I think they got embarrassed, and I would not want to get in front of them right now. So this would be absolute 100% me betting UConn to cover that 20.5. I think Dan Hurley may want to try to beat them by 40 just to get it out of his system. Total-wise, they're going to have to do all the heavy lifting, so I think Furman – what's Furman's team total? You were able to get to this quicker than me.
57.5.
It was like 60. I'd jump on it. I mean, even that's not terrible.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I just stay away from it altogether. But I don't see Furman getting a backdoor cover. I think Dan Hurley is going to come in both guns blazing and absolutely want to destroy them. So that would be the only play I would consider is UConn covering that 20.5.
Yeah, if I was to play something in this game, kind of like the same route last game, I'd play UConn first half -11.5.
There you go. Yeah. I could easily see that happening too because I really do think they're coming out. I mean, they're coming out bad taste in their mouth, and they're going to clamp down on this Furman team. So don't understand why people are thinking that plus 20.5 is a good play. And it may happen. I'm not saying it just absolutely can't. It certainly can. There's no way I'm taking that play. No way. And then the final game, it's another 10-7 matchup. It is going to be late, 10 o'clock, 10-10 start time on the East Coast. Another one of these coin flips, man. We've got Miami and Mizzou. And I hate myself, Josh, for what I did in this game, but I actually think this Missouri team I think they might have a shot. They're one of my few teams at a higher seed that I think can possibly have a path to the Sweet 16. So I've got Missouri money line play on this game, even though I would love to see Miami win it. What about you? Anything in this one?
The only play I would really like in this game if I were to play it, two plays actually. So I'm going to take Miami first half minus a half if I end up playing it. And I'm going to take the first half under 68.5.
Yeah, I don't hate it because Missouri they tend to play a little slower tempo. They're not a get out and run and gun type team at all. I'm trying to find Miami. I think they play moderate pace as well. Yeah, they're about middle of the pack. But Miami's pretty balanced. I mean, they gave Duke all that Duke wanted. And they've had some big wins. Their non-conference schedule was pathetic, but they kind of came into form. And Missouri's wasn't any better, so kind of comparable there. But I think Miami tends to run a little faster pace. We'll try to play up and down the floor. And Missouri struggles on defense at times. I understand that, but I just I don't know, man. I hate it, but I think Missouri's got a chip in a chair in this thing. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I lose. I hope I lose the bet. So there you go. All right, so that took a little bit longer than what I planned. I apologize, but so here we are. That's everything on the first 2 days, the first round of the 64. Josh, let's fast forward. Once we get to the Sweet 16, who are you looking at coming out of that group into either the Elite Eight, or who do you have as Final Four pick? Because I see a lot of scenarios and a lot of paths, but I'll tell you what I don't see a lot of, and that's double-digit seeds.
Yeah, I agree.
We might get one or two in the Sweet 16. I don't see anybody. I don't see any double-digit seeds. I don't see anybody higher than a 6 seed getting to the Elite Eight. Let me take that back. I don't see anybody over a 5 seed getting to the round, the Elite Eight. So, what does your bracket look like? And you pick. You can tell me whatever you want. Sweet 16, Elite Eight, Final Four, whatever you want to break it down to.
I'll start with my Elite Eight. I have St. John's beating Duke to get to the Elite Eight.
Okay.
In the East side. So I have UConn beating Michigan State, getting to the Elite Eight, having a rematch with St. John's in the Elite Eight. And I have Florida beating Vandy, getting to the Elite Eight from that rematch in the SEC tournament. Have Houston beating Illinois, getting to the Elite Eight. I have Iowa State beating Tennessee, getting to the Elite Eight. I have Michigan beating Akron, getting to the Elite Eight. I have Gonzaga beating Purdue, getting to the Elite Eight. And I have Arkansas beating Arizona, getting to the Elite Eight.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, last year was the first time in several years, and only one of, I think, 3 times or maybe 2 times it's ever happened where we had 4 number 1 seeds in the Final Four. These 4 1 seeds have looked stronger this year, pretty clear cut than the rest of the field. I don't think there was ever a question. In fact, we had trouble figuring out who the 4th one was going to be. Not because, we've got so many good teams, but it was, damn, does anybody want the 4th number 1 seed?
Yeah.
I've been on, and anybody's watched me on any show, this one, the Border Rivals, the Happy Hour, anything. I've been saying for a month, Florida's going to get that last number 1 seed. And I even had bracketology guys, and I won't mention their names, tell me I was crazy. That they weren't going to get it. There's going to be UConn or it was going to be Houston. I ain't saying I'm smarter than those guys, but I know what my eyes told me. And my eyes told me that Florida has the best front court in college basketball. And they have just good enough guard play, not elite. They don't have a Walter Clayton on this team, but Boogie Flan and was it Xavier Lee?
Yeah, Xavier Lee.
And Lee's really come on the last couple weeks of the season. He's found his stroke.
Yeah.
Florida's going to be a problem for a lot of people. So I said all that to say I still think this is a very chalky bracket. There's going to be a few upsets, I think, the first 2 rounds. Once we get to the Sweet 16, I think that's where Cinderella's ball ends. I've actually got Duke over St. John's, and I have Michigan State over UConn in the East.
Okay.
In the South, I've got Florida also over Peabody, and I think Florida gets their revenge. I have Florida in the Final Four. So that means I think Illinois over Houston. I know you flip-flop that. I have Illinois over Houston, and I think Florida over Illinois. They get to the Final Four. In my East region, I've got Michigan State. And I really wrestled with Duke because there's a chance they get healthy back. And when Duke was healthy, they were the best team in this field. Shire has really turned into a really good in-game coach. And you'll be hard-pressed to find a better player than Cameron Boozer in this tournament. I'm kind of throwing some dice with Michigan State because they've been vulnerable, but they have one of the best guards in the tournament in Jeremy Fears. So I'm trusting Tom Izzo and guard play. I hope it doesn't bite me in the butt. So I've got Michigan State and Florida on the left side in the Final Four. Is that right? Is that what I said?
Yes.
Yes, at Michigan State, Florida. I'm checking what I said on
Florida,
when I was on with Hunter, making sure I'm not doing myself dirty here. Then in the West, I have Arizona over Arkansas, and I said somebody was going to get Purdue, that they weren't going to make it.
Yeah.
I think it may be Gonzaga. I'm iffy on that. Because Braden Smith, as much as we can't stand him, is going to set the all-time assist record. And he's been playing really well down the stretch. And while they don't have Foul Ming in there, they do have another big ugly that looks like he's 35. He's been twice divorced and pours concrete when he's not playing basketball. Smokes 2 packs a day. He's got a pit bull named Duke. Depends on how the game's officiated. And there's no way to know. We don't know what the assignment's going to be. So I actually have Purdue getting there. But I still feel somebody gets them before that, and I want it to be somebody. Hell, I'd even take Missouri beating them. I'd be okay with that. But regardless, Arizona will come out of the West, and they'll make the Final Four. And then in the Midwest, I'm not as sold on Michigan as what a lot of other people are. I actually had Alabama making it to the Elite Eight just because they'll shoot 123s a game. but I don't know. Now I don't know if they can get past Michigan, so I think I'm going to have to flip that, and I'm going chalk. I'm going Michigan, Iowa State, and I've got Iowa State going to the Final Four. So with that setup, I'm going Arizona over Iowa State. I've got Florida over Illinois. So Arizona and Florida for the national championship. I've done 2 brackets, and I have Arizona winning one, and I have Florida winning the other. I can't decide, Josh.
Yeah. So my Final Four is UConn getting to the Final Four, beating St. John's from the East. Houston beating Florida from the South. Michigan beating Iowa State from the Midwest. And Arkansas beating Gonzaga from the West. So I have UConn advancing against Houston, making it to the championship game. And I have Michigan beating Arkansas, advancing to the championship game. And I have UConn cutting the nets down. So
Okay.
when Dan Hurley and company have their backs against the wall, all he does is goes out in the tournament and cuts the nets down. Everybody was down and out against them in 2023. They won the whole thing. I get it. They're not as big as they were in 2023 with their post players, but they could definitely make a run this year in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you just
Given their
can't
recent
count.
struggles.
Yeah, you can't count Dan Hurley out. And, I mean, and honestly, you know, I've got in my bracket, I've got Michigan State beating them to get to the Elite Eight, but I can see it going either way because Hurley just wins, man. There's 2 teams since Ken Palm was established, and that's 1997. It went public in 2001 or 2002, I think, but he's had it since 97. 26 of the 28 national last 26 of the last 28. I'll spit it out. Last national championship teams have been top 20 in both offense and defensive efficiency per Ken Palm rankings. The 2 that buck the trend, Baylor did it in 2021. They were just outside on defense. The other team was UConn, and they had a 39th ranked offense. Dan Hurley knows how to win national championships. So I don't hate it. And if Duke is still a little wounded, I think I said to Hunter, they can get got. And I certainly think Connecticut is right there with Michigan State. And, you know, if St. John's were to get by Duke, then I think that's going to be a whale of a matchup. If it were St. John's in Connecticut. And I could see that scenario playing out as well. Josh, if there's one team, one higher seed team, I'm going to let you have one pick to make the Sweet 16 and possibly pull an upset on an Elite Eight in the Elite Eight, who would it be for you?
Let's see. I would go Akron beating Michigan to get to the Elite Eight, you said?
Yeah.
Akron over Michigan.
I think we'll have
Sweet
one,
16.
maybe 2 higher seeds in the Sweet 16, but of all of them, I don't think there'll be any, but if there is one that you think could possibly make an Elite Eight, who would it be? You're going with
Akron.
Akron.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. And honestly, they may have an easier path than the team I'm about to throw out there. Because let me look. They were to beat Texas Tech, which we both kind of agree that's going to happen. They would get either Alabama or Hofstra, and I think they can beat either one of those teams. So I don't see St. Louis or Georgia beating Michigan, so it would have to be Akron upsetting Michigan. That's going to be a tall task, no doubt. But we've seen Michigan lose, and we've seen Michigan play close games. So they're not unbeatable. I don't really think any of these ones are unbeatable. This is not the strongest group of ones that we've seen. I don't like anybody in the South. I think Florida's just too much for everybody in there. Houston's the only team that I think could possibly give them problems in the front court, but they're just too good. Man, I kind of like South Florida. If I had to pick a double-digit seed, I think I would go with South Florida, which means they would, of course, have to go through Michigan State and UConn both, which would be an incredible ask. That East is just loaded. But they would avoid the 1 seed. And they're just playing really well. They're playing as good a basketball as anybody. They're as hot as anybody coming into the tournament. So I guess if I were going to throw a flyer on a Sweet 16, an Elite 8 team, I guess that'd be mine. It'd be South Florida. But I don't hate Akron either. I can make an argument for Akron as well.
Yeah, agreed.
I just don't see anybody else. Some people like Santa Clara. Even if they were to beat Iowa State, which I don't think they could, I think Virginia would give them more problems than Iowa State, honestly.
Yeah,
because they would not have any shot with them down low. They would have to pull an Alabama and just shoot a ton of threes. There's not another double-digit seed I like well enough to even throw out there. There's just not. Those are the two. I think those are the only two I would even risk $10 a piece on in a little fun, 15-20 to 1 kind of bet.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Tennessee and either opponent? Do you think we can beat either or both or neither? Potentially.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, if we play Miami of Ohio, I think we can out-rebound them on the boards. It kind of worries me with their guard play because if they're hitting their three-point shots, it could be a long night, really close game. And if we're not hitting our shots. SMU, they have a big post player down low, but I feel like we could do enough down low to disrupt him. And with their guard play really scares me if Boopy Miller and BJ Edwards are hitting their shots and we're not making ours. So, short answer, I would feel a lot better with our chances against Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, I agree. I think we have a better matchup with Miami of Ohio. I kind of like SMU to cover. I think we talked about that. Because Boopy, he makes me nervous. And Edwards is from Tennessee. So if you think he doesn't want to come in there and put on a show for a school that didn't want him, they're think again. So, yeah, I'm not crazy about either matchup, but I guess of the two, and I don't want to be that team. I said that to start the show. I don't want to be the team that Miami of Ohio gets their one shining moment to prove to everybody they belong to start with. And we pull a Calipari coach Kentucky team and bail out the first game. So I don't want us to be that team. We've got to protect the basketball. We've got to create turnovers, and we've got to get I don't think it matters who we play. I think we can control the boards, but we've got to turn offensive rebounds into second chance points. We can't just keep getting all these, 10, 12, 15 offensive rebounds and have nothing to show. Like we had, I forget which game it was, we had 22 offensive rebounds and we had like 16, 18 points. Like that can't happen. And we've got to hope we've got a healthy and focused Nate Ament. Not to say he's not, but he struggled in the SEC tournament after putting up 30 burgers. He comes out and hit one field goal. Everything else came from the free throw line. That's not going to get it.
No,
I'm not worried about Gillespie. He's solid. He's as good. He can play with anybody, all SEC first teamer. So I like his matchup against anybody. Not head to head. I don't want him guarding some of these guys. I don't know that he can guard Boopy efficiently. I think that's going to have to fall on Boswell and hope we don't get into foul trouble. I think SMU can give us a lot of problems. So if it's them, I'm probably going to take SMU to cover. If for some reason Miami of Ohio pulls off the upset, I think I've got to be on Tennessee because they're going to have to play the game of their life to beat SMU, and I don't think they can do that twice in a row, not on a short turnaround like that. So SMU to cover or Tennessee blows out Miami would be my scenarios for us in the first game. And then that would give us Virginia, and I think we actually match up well with them. I think we can contend with their front court. I think we can hang in there and probably even win the rebound battle. And they're not a great shooting team. So if we can keep them from hitting a lot of threes, which they don't shoot a lot of anyway, I think we can get past Virginia, provided we don't turn the ball over. And then that would give us, of course, the winner of Iowa State, Santa Clara, because Kentucky's going to lose. And I think that's where the road would end for us. If we have to play Iowa State in the Sweet 16, I don't think we can against them.
Agreed.
If it's Santa Clara pulls off the Cinderella run, then I think we got a chance to get back to the Elite Eight. But I've said since the beginning of the season, well, not the beginning because I thought this was one of Rick Barnes' most talented teams. But then we lose Cade Phillips. Estrella has been in and out of the lineup, and Ament took him a while to get going. When he finally did, he's lived up to the billing. Gillespie has been the star that T and I both said he was going to be on the onset. But ever since SEC play started, I said this is a Sweet 16 team. That's our ceiling, and I still think it is. There'll have to be a lot of things go right for us to get back to the Elite Eight, and I think would have to involve Iowa State getting put out. And I just don't see Kentucky or Santa Clara doing that. So that's where I think we end up. Anything different you see for the Vols in this thing?
No, I think I'm where you're at because in my bracket I have us losing to Iowa State in the Sweet 16 game.
Yeah, I think it can definitely play out that way. We may get there different paths, but I think that would be – I think that'd be our best case scenario realistically.
Right.
Of course, anything can happen, and I mean, hell, we could go on a run and not turn the ball over, and I think we could beat anybody in that top half. Hell, we beat Bama. We beat Georgia. St. Louis, they're good, but they're not going to compete with us. We can handle Akron because their strength is we can negate. there's nobody in that top half of that bracket outside of Michigan that I think would beat us. So anything can happen. But we got to keep it real, right? We spit facts on here. We don't.
We do.
We don't look through the rose-colored glasses like some of my co-hosts do. Love your Rando.
Love you, Rando.
So, but anyway, man, that was a lot.
That
was a lot of games. That was 32 games. That was 32 spreads and totals. Handful of Sweet 16 Elite 8 conversation, and then of course we gave you a Final Four and some tournament winners. So I won't drag it out. Josh, it was a great show. Thank you for hanging in there. Thank you for all the effort that you've put in all season with.
Thanks for having me as always.
Both football and basketball. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be
a
lot of fun this first round, man. Thursday, Friday is going to be great.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back next week. If you're good, we'll come back next week. We'll revisit. We'll have another round of Sweet 16. And let's see what it'll be 16 and 8, right? Then we go down to Final Four. Yep. So we'll do a round of 16 and 8. Should have a lot clearer picture as to what we're working with to get to a national champion at that point. So I look forward to that. Thank you, everybody that has tuned in or that has gone back and watched on a replay. Really appreciate that. Be sure to follow. I know a lot of you follow me at Irish Hammer 71. Make sure you follow Josh as well. He puts out plays and a lot of good content, especially Tennessee stuff. So the new handle at Joshyboy from Tennessee 8, because the scam goobers got his other account. And then, of course, also be sure to follow Heavy Pour Sports. For those of you that may not know, we are now full-fledged partnership between Heavy Pour Sports and the Dropping the Hammer podcast, part of the network now. Very excited about that. Some great things that we're doing in the future. You're going to want to be around for that. So please follow at Border Rivals HPS and at Heavy Pour Sports on YouTube. So, Josh, once again, my friend, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your time, your effort, your energy, your support.
Thanks for having me.
I love you, man.
Love you too.
I can't wait. I can't wait to circle back next week and talk about the chaos. So,
can't wait, man.
Thank you to everyone. Love you. Mean it. Happy betting.